Okay, hi students. We meet again for part 3 of topic transport in plants. So previously, I had covered about transpiration. I did some explanation on the definition and also about how transpiration happens in plants in regard of the structures, the vascular bundles, the stomata, and also I have also touched about the effects, the factor that affects the rate of transpiration. Okay, so make sure before you guys started to start. If you guys want to start watching my this video, you guys have completed the task that I have given in part 1 and part 2. Okay, on topic transpiration. Okay, so because I have full faith on everyone, I believe that everybody will do the task that I have assigned to everyone. Okay, so for part 3, I want to explain about translocation. Translocation meaning where does it happen, the terms related to this process, and also the importance of this process to plants. Okay, so now let's start. Okay, so for translocation, it is referring to the movement of sucrose and amino acids in the phloem from regions of production, the source, to regions of storage, or to regions where they are used for respiration or growth, the sink. Okay, so these two terms are the important terms that everyone have to know in translocation, the source and the sink. And also about transpiration just now, transpiration last week, it is about the movement of water, meaning whatever happens in the xylem. Okay, this one is only for evaporation process, meaning the movement of water only, transpiration. Translocation, it is referring to the movement of foods, meaning that food produced from the process of photosynthesis. So what tissues transport them and how plants use them. So translocation describes all that. Okay, moving on. Okay, translocation. The solutes movement in phloem may be traveling up or down the stem. The solutes, it is referring to the solids, the food produced from the process of photosynthesis. So firstly, we know in photosynthesis, glucose is made. Glucose is the product of photosynthesis. The very important one, because it makes many other important nutrients like the sucrose. Okay, so from glucose, plants will convert glucose into sucrose. Okay, sucrose is then transported in the xylem vessels all across the leaves where it can be made use of. Apart from glucose, plants also transport amino acids. So where does amino acids come from? Amino acids came from the nitrates. Okay, nitrates from the fertilizers, the ions that is absorbed by the roots in the ground. Okay, sucrose and amino acids are transported to every tissue of the plant. Each cell uses it in a different way. For example, the first one, the root cells will convert the sucrose into glucose for respiration and store it. The growing cells will make cellulose for cell walls from sucrose and use the amino acids to make proteins for growth. And the fruits use the sucrose to make the attractive scents and tasty nectar to attract insects. So the areas of the plant where sucrose is made are called sources, and where they are delivered to and made use of are called the sinks. Okay, so these two things being transported by the phloem in the process of translocation. Okay, that part clear. I hope that everyone clear. Okay, if still not clear, despite of keep on replaying the video, still you guys don't understand, you guys can PM me in the WhatsApp. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this diagram shows about how translocation happens in the phloem. Okay, because we know in the phloem, they do have the companion cell and also the sieve tube elements. Okay, the sieve tubes. Okay, these sieve tubes, it is the small pits, the small holes that enables the the glucose and amino acids to pass through into the phloem. Okay, so from the companion cell, it will be transported into the sink, meaning that the source is the place where sucrose is made, the glucose. Okay, it will then be transported into the companion cell in the phloem, and then phloem will transport it down to the companion cell, meaning that into any place that the plants want to use. For example, the sink as illustrated here is the root cell. Okay, so the root cell is the place where it's being stored, the sucrose. Okay, and if you recall back about the year 9 lesson, the year 9 syllabus that we have learned in checkpoint, we learn about plants store glucose in form of starch. Okay, why do plants store glucose in form of starch? Okay, think about the answer. Okay, maybe you guys can comment the answer below the video later on after you're done. Okay, I'm expecting, if not all, maybe one of you can comment with the answer. Okay, why do plants store glucose in form of starch? Okay, next one. Okay, this diagram illustrated how translocation happens. So firstly, the sugar is actively transported into the sieve tube members of the phloem. Water will follow by osmosis. The source cell. The source cell meaning that the place where the sugar is being made, which in this case is the leaves. Okay, then the sieve tube, the phloem will transport it down. Because of higher pressure at the source, forces the phloem sac to move toward the sink, so it will move down. And then the sugar is unloaded at the sink, and the water return to the source via the xylem. Okay, because why? Xylem is the only cell that transport water, so it has to be returned back. Okay, source is the part of plant where substances are produced. Example like the leaves. The sink, it refers to the part of the plant where the substrate can be stored. For example, like the root. Okay, so the diagram of this plant here tells you about how translocation and transpiration happen at the same time. Okay. Okay, so for photosynthesis, it producing sugar, and amino acid is actually coming from the absorption of the minerals by the roots. Okay, so these two nutrients will be synthesized by the plants and be transported via the two processes that we have learned, the translocation and transpiration. Okay, for example, like if the plant want to synthesize it, they synthesize the amino acids, for example, they will synthesize them into hormones and proteins for the plants. For storage, both sugar and amino acids, plants can change them for making protein, fat or starch. And also for transport, the nutrient transport system, it is referring to the process, which is the translocation. Water transport system, that is the transpiration. Okay, so far clear, right? Okay, that's about the source, the sink, and translocation. And also I have highlighted about the differences between translocation and transpiration. So that's all for part 1. I'll see everyone again in part 2. Okay, so see you.